Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Headlines podcast. My name is Ufuma Priti Ogenetikere, and I'm here with
Onoja Johnson Baba.
And my name is Gozie Kendrick Ekwozo.
And today we are going to be talking about job racketeering. Before I start, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Emphasis on subscription. Subscribe, please.
Yes, on this edition, we're going to be discussing job racketeering, and we have an expert in the house that we're going to be having this very beautiful moment with. We're going to be focusing on the Federal Civil Service and also shed light on some other private organization and some of these corrupt practices that are as regards to job racketeering. I'm going to throw it to our expert in the house. But before I do that, I want to give a background information to our today's topic. Job racketeering has become, how do I describe it now? Has become something that is eating deep into the fabrics of the Nigerian system, and it has become something that we cannot overlook at this point in time, because if you don't put an appropriate person in an appropriate position, it is going to mess up a lot of things. And we believe some of these things are what has brought us to this particular situation or position we are today as a country. So it is very, very important we look into it. We are not going to spare anybody in this discussion as far as we are concerned, because it is not just about the headline. We want to go into beyond the headline. So let me hear from our guest in the house and then take it from there. So, Mr. Gozie, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Onoja.
Thank you very much, sir. So, what do you have to tell us about job racketeering in this country, Nigeria?
You see, before you discuss job racketeering, you need to understand the kind of society we find ourselves in. We find ourselves in a society where we have an unemployment rate that is above 38%. It simply means there are a whole lot of young people out there who are not employed.
Exactly.
And we're not just talking about unemployment now. We also have a category of the Nigerian workforce that are underemployed. So it means that I have the capacity to do X, Y, and Z to be able to earn maybe 500,000 naira or 400,000 naira.
Okay.
But I find myself doing A, B, C, D, X, Y, and Z, and I'm being paid 150,000 naira. So we have underemployment, which you've also seen it. I think there was a time the Nigerian Immigration Service tried to do recruitment that it came out to the Abamoro scandal. And we saw people, security operatives that were hired to help facilitate and ensure that there was decorum in the interview setting, pulling their uniforms to sit down and join people to actually write. You saw the scandal. It was a very sad one back then. I saw a man far back then on the National Television Authority, NTA, and the man was crying that he was a PhD holder in economics, and he was being flogged by military officers.
At the interview
ground. Yes, at the interview ground. You saw him crying so many years back. So it is a big problem in our society, simply because we have a very booming youth strata of the society, and Nigerians are very ingenious people. They want to do something, and you would not also blame the younger generation. When we were little, we were told, go to school, read a good course, graduate, and get a job. It has been injected into our fabric system. And as a young person, you just want to go to school. You want to just go and study, get a course, study a course, a marketable course, and actually now get employed. I remember trying to also get into the institution. My parents then were saying, you have to study a course that by the time you submit your CV out there, you are going to have a higher probability of being picked. So I think first way we're going to go to the ways to mitigate job racketeering is that we need to re-engineer the modus operandi of we doing things. That when people spend 4 years plus ASU strike, and if you are the graduates that are going to be pulled out now from institutions that stayed at home for COVID and everything like that, we need to change that idea of that the first thing you need to do immediately you're done with school is to write an application letter to say, I want to apply for. We need to start changing that thing to, it involves critical thinking to tell people that, to be very honest, you need to go to school, but you don't really need to go to school to be successful. Because if you look at the Southeast, you would see that there was a study that was done about the Nwa boy system that has chunked out a whole lot of millionaires, more than many institutions have done across the country. Now, let's not go far. Let's come back to the topic.
Are you referring to the Igbo apprenticeship?
Yes, the apprenticeship system. Okay. Yes, that has chunked out more millionaires. A whole lot of millionaires have been, birthed through that system of coming to learn and understudy and start something. So we need to start thinking of different ways. AI is there now. There's tech there. We need to find a way to now diversify. You are going to study library and information science now, not trying to water down the course. How relevant is it in the Nigerian society? Because this is how you mitigate it in the future. Because these people will always cash on the fact that maybe you're coming from a family of 6. Your parents have been only able to train you. And you're coming out already after NYSC. You are looking for something so that you can immediately start supporting your family. This pressure, this societal pressure, and if you look at the economic situation of the country now, sometimes you don't blame people when they are told that, pay this amount of money and you'll be able to get this. So it cuts across, government and both, what do they call it, the private sector. The private sector has their own way where this kind of things happen. And we also have most of these crimes happening in the government sector, because I remember the first time I came into Abuja, I was having a conversation with someone and he told me that, Gozie, immediately you get employed in a federal institution,
it is finished.
50% of your problem in this life is solved. And he was now telling me these are the institutions you need to look out for. Look out for NIMASA, look out for DPR, all those kind of things that when people work there, your life is solved. So, at the end of the day, I remember the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, coming out to say at one point in time that there are no jobs. There are no jobs in the federal system. So people need to actually be informed that there is an issue. And there are categories of people, apart from people who are on the street and taking advantage of unsuspecting people. We also have an institution in our country where the people who work in that institution, I have to be very careful with my words, people who work in that institution are one of the facilitators, the biggest facilitators of job racketeering in Nigeria.
Now, coming into that, let me say something here. Of course, we understand that there's a high rate of unemployment and possibly underemployment, but that is not the central. That is not the central of that is not our focus. What we are looking at is, why is there no due process in employment? Of course, we cannot totally set aside unemployment from this issue, but I want us to focus on why are we not following due processes in recruiting people into positions in this country?
Well, there's an issue with this part of the world, and the first issue is endemic corruption, nepotism, tribalism, and favoritism. It is an issue that, if we look at the economic situation of the country now, I keep on telling people that we are who we elect. Till we choose and sit down and say, I really don't care if Onoja is from Kogi State. I don't care if Prita is from the southern part of the country. Who can do the job? Who really can man this studio? Irrespective of the fact that, I have affiliations to Kogi or the south or the west or the north. Till we start recruiting on competence, it's also affecting security. I've had positions that have maybe exposed me to a whole lot of security personnel in the country, and most of them will tell you there are a whole lot of factors. Most of them will tell you that, bros, if anything's up here now, I don't leave this uniform run. It's simply because when you want to recruit people, you just make a call. Papa Onoja, that your son that you said that is at home and is not doing anything. I have a slot for him at direct short service. And you bring a young man who never has any interest in the military, never wants to be in the uniform, and you give him a job, and you want him to go and capture certain local governments from terrorists or bandits.
I really think I think and I believe that this nepotism and tribalism you just mentioned, I think there are just the major issues we have here. Because even look at the Federal Character Commission. This is a commission that is set up for the purpose of making sure these slots go around. Let everybody feel the impact of being part of the nation. You understand? And of course, there is no way you will tell me that there is no competent person from my place, or there is no competent person from the other place.
Let me blow your mind and shock you. During the last administration, a certain parastatal, very important parastatal in this country, did a recruitment and got in 100 and roughly around 105, 110 people. It will blow your mind that 92 persons were from one state that the DG was from. 92%. So it simply means that the future of that parastatal has been mortgaged to a particular state.
Exactly. And my problem is, even the very body set up to checkmate all of these things appears to be corporate, or will I say appears to be accomplice to some of these things happening. Because look at the Federal Character Commission, for instance, and look at what happened last year in 2023. When a committee was set up by the House of Rep member, a member, I can't, I hope I still remember the name, I think one Mr. Okay, raised the motion of investigating the issue related to job racketeering, and then they set up a committee. They set up that committee, and the House of Rep, the leader of the House of Rep, nominated one Mr. Gandhi. Also, I hope I got the name right, to lead the committee, and then they investigated Federal Character Commission first. And there they discovered the issues. They discovered some of these issues, but the unfortunate part of it is that even along the line, they that were investigating this thing were also found guilty. And I saw that in one of the Premium Times publications. I wouldn't want to go into the details and start calling names, but how did we get here, and how can we get it right?
You see, the issue is, the idea of the Federal Character Commission is to ensure that there is an even, equitable representation of all the whole tribes of the country in appointments. So now you are the DG of ITF and you want to make recruitment. You're supposed to pass through the Federal Character Commission to actually go and ensure that, slots are given evenly. It's supposed to be like that. But this is where the problem comes in. And I feel, even using ITF as an instance also, the former boss of ITF, Johari, also got into trouble for not massaging egos in the last recruitment that happened in ITF. People were like, you went to bring your own people and you forgot our own people. And you see, until we stop taking issues of governance with levity, we are not going to go forward in this country. And it's not a prophecy of doom. I used to tell people during trainings that we organize and everything like that, that a student that is going to take first class, you are going to know during the term.
Of course.
It is not when the result comes out.
No.
There are certain traits. Those people when we're in school that you are reading this syllable, this handout that the lecturer gave, they are bringing more handouts from Open University they are just compiling. You will just be like, this person is operating on a high frequency. Success is predictable until we change the people, the kind of persons we are, until we stop sharing, let us do this. There are some agencies of government that you go into now. NIMET, for instance, the former DG. You are going to see that from ground floor to up floor, it is as if it's a full-day community. These are the problems. You do recruitment and you only pack your people in, and some people will now say, yes, when it's your turn, do it. When it comes to your turn, when your people are in power, do it. If we keep on going around this vicious circle, the jobs are not even enough. Then you now come
to due process. Yes,
the due process is not now followed. You go to different agencies and you now ask yourself whether English is not the official language in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because people are not even operating on the normal English, you're operating on their tribal, and immediately you come in and you cannot communicate effectively
on
that tribal language.
There's
Or yours,
a
your
problem
case.
somewhere. Yes,
Whenever you're going there to get contract or anything like that, you will not even be considered.
Somebody told me that to survive in Abuja here, you need to understand Hausa. And, when people begin to say such a thing, I feel so bad for this country, because how speaking Hausa becomes a requirement for somebody to survive in Abuja is an issue. And of course, this is part of some of these realities. But then, where the major challenge is now is, okay, since these things are happening, where do we go from here? And let me even take us back to that report by Premium Times again. The chairperson of Federal Character Commission was accused in part of their investigation. And along the line, these House members that were saddled with the responsibility of investigating this parastatal, this agency, were also found to be accomplices in some of these things. Now, I read in that report that they even went as far as summoning some heads of institution for a meeting as part of their investigation, but it didn't end there. They say there was another backyard meeting, trying to threat some of those heads of institution to do a kind of kickback, to give something else. They expose them. So since these people saddled with this responsibility to tackle these things are failing us, where do we go from here? Where else do we go, Pretty?
Okay, it all boils down to the fact that he said nepotism, tribalism, and I think the main word for it is corruption. If you want to fight this job racketeering thing, is corruption, and the country is so corrupt, and what we actually need now is fighting corruption. If you fight corruption, you are going to fight everything, including the job racketeering. And also, I feel like people do not want to, they always feel like the leaders up, they are the wicked ones. Everybody is same, like what he said. Everybody is same. If you elect anybody, it is same. If you have somebody that wants to give you job or slot, you will take it. But when you hear about it, you'll be like, oh, this is what people do. They are wicked. And the thing is, when they say charity begins at home, everybody we are same. We can start fighting it with ourselves than blaming it on the leaders. So definitely everything boils down to corruption.
Yeah, I think in that line, let me also say something. When we're discussing, anytime people are talking about corruption, especially job racketeering, people sometimes will feel it's just the government and the authorities. No. Do you know that you too that is giving somebody money to buy a job, you're also guilty of this offense? And so I buy into that, your opinion. So coming to you, Mr. Gozier, now, here we discuss facts and figures with evidences. So, have you gotten into any situation of job racketeering? Have you ever been a victim, or you have evidences, or have you ever been involved in any process leading to irregularities in recruitment, both at the government level or private sector?
Okay, let me before I answer that, I would want to just state that when it comes to racketeering, there are 3 levels that I want to identify. Number 1, the parastatal and ministry level.
Okay.
This level is the most chaotic. This is where the gbogbo
is happening
of racketeering happens. When DG wants to do recruit people into a DG, or it's time for an agency of government to do recruitment, those shady deals that happen at that corridor of power between the PAMSEC down to the minister, down to the director general, the chairman of the Federal Character Commission, all those, it's a pact. This is a very huge allegation, but yes, it's a fact that there are certain times that recruitment even happen in this country and nobody knows about it. It's not due process. So it's a fact that it's that level. Then we now have the second level. The second level is at the National Assembly. Now there are certain people, and there are certain people that work with legislators, and they are called legislative aides. I can stay, you can sue me to court and you can take me to court. It will turn to a class action suit. There are so many persons who have been defrauded by many legislative aides in this country. You see, the thing here is that power, all that glitters is not gold. And what happens with this legislative aid issue is that, you hear that you followed a politician in your local government or in your village and you did campaign and The politician is going
Then they
to Abuja
compensate
and
you with,
everything, and they now say, okay, Onoja, you have done very well, come to Abuja with me. Sometimes even the legislators themselves, they find out that, and it's not that Nigerian legislators are very paid, they are very well paid. Well, they are very well paid.
Of course.
We know the average amount that a legislator earns, monthly, going home monthly. But this is the thing here now. Why corruption is very bad. The citizens of the country also play a very important role in enabling this corruption, because if you're a rep member, for instance, you're a senator, for instance, there are certain people you need to place under salary, down from the traditional rulers within the senatorial zone that you're coming from. There are certain grounds that you need to be watering monthly for you to remain on that.
Are you talking about statutory or personal, from your personal pocket?
This is your personal. Don't do it and see. Don't do it and see.
Are you serious?
So by the time, this is why all this corruption happens. By the time this will do all these things, these aides that follow that, remember we're talking about legislative aides. At the end of the day, you might be paying them 150,000 naira. And life is somehow. You are taking pictures in front of National Assembly as a legislative aide. People are always seeing you in Prado, moving left and right. The next thing that happens in the Nigerian setting, when somebody sees Onoja comes out with a very starched kaftan, some police officers in suit are walking and they are doing videos, and people are seeing the video with this senator. People start reaching out to you, Onoja Alpha, who were classmates in
They believe
Alpha.
I'm getting those
They
slots.
believe that you're getting something. This is just where these issues from legislative aides come out. They believe that this guy, you must believe in the big life. You are in Abuja. I look at you in Prado jeeps and everything like that. And the normal Nigerian setting, that immediately you post a good picture, what accompanies it on your WhatsApp is what? Is billing.
Exactly.
So people start billing these boys that are legislative aides. They start billing them, and in order to live up to the standard, they now start looking for demonic means of supplementing the income they are being paid in order to live that fake life that they're actually living. Because I know back then, I started my career as a press person, so, and I was talking to someone that said he hates being in the press corps of government house, because people see those bosses view,
So
and they are like, Onoja, this guy has money, you have made the money. But all that glitters is not always gold. And these are the second strata. And I can say it authoritatively that we have gone after so many of these legislative aides, not even using the police, using the Department of State Security Service, to go after some of these legislative aides until we recovered to the last kobo the monies that they collected. And interestingly, most of their principal officers have no idea.
Are you serious about that?
Yes, most of their principal officers, most of the ones we went after, have no idea. So this was going on.
Mr. Gozie,
Yes.
let me disagree with you on that. Because some of them, if they don't leave their offices very porous, those legislative, because some of them are actually getting some of those jobs for those people.
Let me
Getting some of those jobs. So I feel some of them, they are aware. You may use some, but saying most.
Is as now. Remember, I said I can only speak of what I know.
Okay.
And what I know is that most of the people we have gone after, their principal officers have no idea that they are involved in this racketeering. So, for instance, now you are following a senator. This is a total assumption. You are following a senator, you're a legislative aide to a senator, for instance, Senator Adams Oshomole. And Senator Adams Oshomole has been put in a committee, and you hear that Adams Oshomole is in the maritime committee. So now this is what these boys do. They come and meet you and say, Baba is in maritime. You want to get a job in Nigerian Ports Authority. The Adams Oshomole has no idea. And what these guys do, because the schedule of these rep members are, rep members are very tight and busy. They invite you to National Assembly. You come to National Assembly. This is what happens daily. They invite you to National Assembly. You come to NAS. And when you come to NAS, you go to the senator's office and they'll say his Oga is not even around. If Oga was around, I'm saying how people have lost their millions. Because when you want to part 5 million naira for a job in Nimasa, you want to be sure that you are getting the job in Nimasa. Now Nimasa flies for like 5M. Back then it was like 3M. You are going to get your money now. Or you come to NAS. You think I'm joking? They give you the pass. You come to NAS. You come into NAS. You sit down. And when you sit down, they say, Oga is not even around. If Oga was around, you would have even, shey you are from Delta State, you would have come to even go and greet him. You would have greeted him. Where's your CV? Bring your CV. They'll tell you, see, all this file is CV of so many people in our place that they have to give jobs to. But, see, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. No be your paper go move for you. Now wait till you go drop on top table go move for you. So what will happen is that, give me 3 million naira. This job is 5M. But give me 3M. When you get the job, you give me 2M. Now, who is going to give you access to National Assembly again? These are the questions that you can't go to National Assembly. You want to go and see Senator Adams Ushomele, for instance. Who will give you? Do you have an appointment? How will you cross first gate, second gate? So at the end of the day, people are, wow, this is the first time I'm coming to National Assembly. They wow you with the aura, security and everything like that. The person is in a starch kaftan. He's holding big files up and down. He's making phone calls. You believe it that this person can do this for me. And at the end of the day, you are calling Onoja. How far? Say federal government job, they take time. In fact, I've seen people that have gone to go and fake palm sex signature, keep in view.
Mr. Gozie, you are speaking with fact, and I like that. Now, I will agree with you, but let me point out something to you now. Now, from that investigation I read from Premium Times, do you know that they also discovered that these lawmakers have some persons they use, have some companies, some funds they use in negotiating some of these kickbacks? So sometimes they use some of these. In fact,
I gave you an instance of the former DG of ITF, Johari. He fought. Johari knows he cannot deny it. He was fought heavily. He did only the recruitment he did some years back. He didn't do anyone again till he left. Simply because I'm not saying that this does not exist. Remember, I told you there are stratas.
Exactly.
The first one is where you have the DGs,
the
PAMSECs, the ministers. This is where this racketeering takes place in a very coded manner. Right? Where a DG can come and tell you how I have 5 slots. They sell some of all these things, but this is an allegation. Right? We all know, we've heard people say this, but the one that I'm telling you that we have followed to the latter. We have followed some boys they had to even bring land papers from the states they are in to say, this is my land, or I will give you 1 million by the end of this. Hold my papers. Is this rep members, and most of all of them were so scared they did not want their principal officers to find out that they were involved in that racketeering scam. There is this agency that they scammed people. I can't remember the name, but I think they had to stop the recruitment. Either they started and they stopped. Federal government put a stop to it. Something for the proliferation of arms. There's somebody like that.
Yeah. I think
do you know how many people
like
that we went to go and recover their money from? This is not like they say. They know. If anybody, they know. And most of these boys were so scared. They went, they said, our guy is a member of the committee.
I think it was NSA that stopped that particular.
So I know that there was that agency. There were so many of them, and there are some of them that come up with so many things. And in fact, if time will permit us in this, I came up with something. And
that is interesting.
what I came up with are some appointment letters. That's what I came up with. And
from private organizations,
these are government organizations. These are government
That's
organizations.
interesting.
These are government organizations. I came up with appointment letters, and I would show you some of them. And the idea of showing you some of all these things is, to open the eyes of the general public, basically. So
very important.
Let us start with this one. Now, this is an appointment letter from the Federal Civil Service Commission. I'm going to make a statement on something like this because these appointment letters are flying left, right, and center on social media. And you will see that this is grade level 10, step 2. I'm going to make a comment on this. So people go on social media. There are a lot of cyber cafes. So this is now the third strata of people, even those boys, legislators and everything like that. They all use these things. But now boys on the streets that will come to Abuja, I know people that they use SARS to follow until they brought their money. There was even somebody that paid half, ran away. They went to lock his parents. He said, you can even kill my parents. So what they do is they go to social media. They go on the internet rather.
Download
they download the copies of these things. And they manipulate and edit them and manipulate it and give it to people. You see them with their kaftan. You see them with their starched cap. And you see so many files and ministry stuff at the back. and they will tell you, I've done this thing for people. They have their cronies that they, of course, when you collect 2 million, 3 million from somebody, 1 million from somebody, you would have boys that you are setting.
Exactly.
And you might come and see somebody coming, maybe they fix a meeting somewhere, and somebody is coming, maybe Pretty is coming with a basket of food or something, and say, or a gift or something, thank you very much, this. You are there. You are like, and the guy is like,
and all is part of their scamming scheme.
It's all part of the scam team. Like, this girl, she was hopeless, didn't have anything to do in Abuja, and we helped her. We can help you too. That kind of thing. So this is one of Federal Civil Service Commission. Please.
That is very funny.
Then we have this one.
Very funny.
I'll make a statement about this from the central bank. There's one.
Okay, that's from CBN.
This is from the CBN. I'll make a comment as regards this from the CBN, because people, can come out and say they want to give you CBN jobs and everything like that. So this is another one from FIRS.
Are you serious?
This is another one from FIRS. Basically, I would show you. I have where I've written how you need to spot that some of all these things are fake. This one is from Nigeria Railway Corporation. This is an appointment letter from them.
So this means virtually all these guys are involved in job scamming.
You are not. This is FEMA. This is from FEMA.
Even FEMA as well.
This is FEMA. You just need to go online and some sharp guys. Hunger can make people do terrible things. This is from Transmission Company of Nigeria. Basically, from Transmission Company of Nigeria. And this was CBN. Remember I told you I was going to make a note on this CBN.
Yes.
I'll draw an inference of the CBN on. And this is from the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. This in fact,
NSCDC.
NSCDC. Now, this is an amazing thing. If you are looking at this now, there are 2 appointment letters here.
Yes.
That are totally different. Totally
from the
different.
Outlook, everything, sir.
This one, you are seeing NSCDC. This one, the same thing. NSCDC. Nigerian Civil, 2 different appointment letters now. Which one is the original one?
Everything is
Which one is the original one? I'll shed light on all these ones now. Then, of course, we have this one from the Department of Petroleum Resources.
DPR.
Basically, And we have this one from Road Safety. Basically. Now, you are giving this letter of appointment. The person's name is there, employed as a Marshal Inspector, Marshal Inspector 2, level 7, and this. And, you are seeing it and you are thanking the person. You are saying, thank you very much. The person is just paying 500K. It's not going to take somebody 2,000 naira to print this thing from a cyber cafe. So how do you know which one is fake?
No, but what you are saying in essence is that some of these letters are actually not from these agencies.
Yes.
Okay.
This is very simple. This is what they do. So let us start with NSCDC. Basically, I made notes on them now. This is one letter from the NSCDC, the Civil Defense Corps, basically. And this is another letter.
Supposedly from the NSCDC.
Yeah, supposedly from the NSCDC. So now, one of them here is correct, it's original, and one is fake. And if you see how this letter was printed, if they even give you the 2 of them, you would go for this one.
Yes, you
would
will
say
not
this
be
one
able
looks
to
very
spot. Yeah.
correct. But this is how you would know. Number one, when it comes to employment, what civil defense does is they ensure that there is restricted. If you look at this one, there is no restricted. Somebody just went, carried an NSCDC logo, put everything like that, and started selling fake appointment letters. Then you would also see that when NSCDC gives you an appointment letter, your name is here, it's addressed to you, there's no dear Sir or Ma. But they confused Demon that did this one, put the person's name, Nasarawa State, Federal Republic, now put Sir, Ma. Why?
The conventional pattern of
writing letter. You know it's a cyber cafe boy that just quickly did this thing. So these are some of the errors you have to spot out. Then, this is one critical thing that people need to know. Appointment letters have reference numbers. And these were very smart. They also put a reference number here. But in NSCDC, when they give you an appointment letter, after /appointment, the year of the appointment is stated. And in this year, it's 2019. But here they put 429. Is it AA? Is it BC?
That doesn't look like a year.
It doesn't look like a year. Is it BC? Is it before Christ? So at the end of the day, there should be a year here, because this appointment letter is flying left, right, and center. People saying, I have people in Ministry of Interior, the current Minister of Interior is my friend. We will get you this thing. They are selling this thing 400,000 naira.
Mr. Gozi, this is becoming very much interesting. But before we move further into the other document, all these things you are explaining, are there ways this agency, some of these agencies like this civil defense guy, are there ways they are sensitizing the public against these things?
That is how we'll get to
and
that.
how did you even get to know all of this?
We'll get to that. This is. I'm telling you that I can speak for what I know. People that have helped to recover their monies from. Some people have even gone to Embelembe in Abuja. You have heard some of. There's a guy that just recently from Bokos. He was an Adamawa man, and he was on contract at Plateau State University. I think Plateau State Polytechnic or something. Either the Polytechnic or the university. One of them. And he was there. Even HOD's child that was still a student was given an appointment letter. And he was there and was waiting for confirmation of his appointment.
I must have paid somebody.
He had paid money, of course. It was Embelembe that helped him to actually, ordinary president, that helped him to recover his money. At the end of the day, so look at this, then you would find out that NSCDC, when they give you an appointment letter, the first paragraph comes with the rank, the nature of appointment, the grade level, then the basic salary. This person just merged everything in a paragraph.
Just wrote a normal letter.
He just wrote it like in a paragraph. Like, when you look at it, you would find out that in the original appointment letters, from paragraph 2, 4, and 7, the congratulations is in bold, the agencies and the boards are in bold, but if you look at it, the relevant bodies were not in bold. These are the little detail. And my dad will tell you that when people commit a crime, when the investigator comes to investigate, what he's simply looking for is he's not looking at the big crime. He's looking at that one mistake that the person made. And in all these letters, you can see multiple mistakes that these people have made. Now, the signature of the commandant comes with a date. If you look at this original appointment letter, there is a year. This is 2022. Somebody will just go and forge something. If you can see, they cut this signature and just try to put it there. Without a date, when did he sign it, and everything like that. So NSCDC has also made it very interesting that there is a barcode in the appointment letters.
Yes, so ascertain originality.
Yes, but this one flying online. People, this thing I'm showing you now, if somebody gives you with a bag, that's 300,000. This one now,
that is very funny.
With 300,000, there's no barcode there. So if you look at it, I said the relevant body, the dates, and the format was not, these are some of the things you'd spot down at the NSCDC. They always manipulate this, and some of those letterheads that have phone numbers, they always manipulate the phone number. Dial the phone number, send an email to the email address there immediately to know whether it's going to go. You would see you send address, it will not go, the email will not deliver. So I had to note it down that it's a very scary appointment letter. If these people did not make that mistake, so this is it. I don't give you the employment. Share the road safety you want. This one, call marshal don't approve them for you. But before they give you all your documentations and everything, and they normally come with this point that somebody died. It's replacement.
Exactly.
Nigerian Immigration Service, Fire Service, Road Safety.
They are doing replacement.
They will say it's replacement.
Secret replacement.
That secret replacement. That somebody died. See, I don't give you. Waiting, you want to be employment letter. See employment letter. See stamp. The stamp will be looking fresh. But you guys call these people now. Then go. Choke you inside. Post you. Which state you want to serve? You say, I want to serve for Kogi State. I see people, they make money for that Kogi Express Road. Go send you go there. Call this number. Follow it in the man. Now my orga be that. So what the person did, people that use this one, they try to exonerate themselves
from the whole scheme.
From the whole scheme. They will look like helpers. Pretty, a very beautiful girl.
So once this is given to
once
you,
give is given, they'll say, I tell you to go.
They're out of it.
They're out of it. They'll say anything, and it's them that tell you just follow the man. Follow the man codedly. You na surgery person, you supposed know waiting day. They would not tell you pay, but they will give you this one. Fake. We now have another one. It's called from FEMA. If you look at this appointment letter from FEMA, it looks very nice. But key thing you need to know is check the address and the office department. FEMA, it is the Administration and Human Resource Development Department that sends appointment letters. Basically, they are the ones that do it. Then the letters are sent to the person without any other salutation, and it's a 4-paragraph letter. Anything that they're doing 5 paragraphs for you from FEMA, it's fake. and it comes from the managing director. Even if it's coming from this department, it's the MD that signs appointment letters in FEMA, basically. Same thing with Transmission Company of Nigeria. Check the tracking number, check those phone numbers. By the time they go and manipulate these phone numbers, check the phone numbers, check the email. It comes from the ED. If any director is signing for you, any assistant director, question it, basically. And they will tell you that this is where you are going to report to. You should take this letter to go and report somewhere there. And the tracking number is also, this actually is a real appointment letter. And they'll tell you this, the tracking number, you see TCN, the HR department, this is where this letter is coming from. They'll be able to enable you do that. FIRS jobs, people like it because in Abuja they'll tell you, FIRS get so many locations, they could just put you there. So
exactly.
FIRS has helped a lot of people in their recruitment. They have
I observed that recently.
They just put you one
people like
there are too many. Yeah. So FIRS, it sells very fast. So you need to know the tracking number, the logo is centralized, and this FIRS is not flat. You need to, in fact, that Federal Services Commission, you need to observe some of all those things. Then also verify the address. Some of the addresses flying online are misleading. They'll be telling you to go to Dawaki. The FIRS headquarters is not in Dawaki. So you need to know all those things. Then it's a multiple page document. So if somebody gives you one page,
it's not just single page. Later.
FIRS does not give one page. So these are some of the things you're going to know. Then of course you have railway. The position of employment is given. You have to verify phone number, ensure there's a tracking number that is verifiable, and also check the email basically. And it's also a multiple paged document with signatures at the end of every page. That is how Railway does it. Now for the CBN, everybody knows CBN is a big job, but this is two things. These two circulars are circulars from CBN. But if somebody gives you a CBN job and the CBN logo is at the center, it's fake. Because when CBN is sending something to the general public, the logo is at the center. But when CBN is communicating individually to people within themselves, the logo comes to this side.
Wow.
But people don't know. They just give you CBN. God! You pay, you sow seed, you pay tithe, first fruits you have not received, you deploy. All of them on top the scamming, they scammed you. So this is what you're going to know. It's like when they're addressing it, they put there. So everything moves. So people need to be observant. And this is now to answer your question.
What are these body doing?
These agencies must play an important role. Although they will tell you that, yes, you should come into their office and verify. I know somebody that was given a job at this space center.
Okay, space center.
Giving fake appointment and everything. And I reached out to somebody I know there. I said, what's up? The person said, we have not done recruitment. I was telling the person, don't pay. The person was like, you're a block of fakes, blah, blah, blah. The person paid. Went there, went the HR. She's a woman. Director, she said, we have not done recruitment in so and so. We have not done it. So you can always walk to these government agencies and ask questions. Want to see the director of HR? Dress responsibly, sir.
Are they actually accessible?
They are accessible. Many people are accessible. There are some agents or some parastatals, and it's very difficult to get in and everything like that. But even in NCC that just did recruitment, just immediately after the administration came out last year, you can go. You want to go to customer service at NCC's ground floor. How far? This. How far? This is what somebody give me you. Please, is there anything like this? Somebody there will tell you, we are doing recruitment. Because see, when recruitment is going on, even when ITF did their last recruitment, people knew. Information flies. People in the system want to bring their own people in the system.
Considering the available technology, considering the level of technology we have, is it not possible that some of these agencies, is it not possible that government can actually put up a platform where all these things can be verified through their tracking numbers? Because I could see that almost all of these letters have their tracking numbers.
Well, it's interesting to know that I think during this administration now, most ministries are going digital. So I'm very sure that we are getting to that stage where things will be done in a digital form.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Gozie, and my colleague Pretty for this interesting time. Thank you, viewers.
Before I go,
one
thing before I go in the private sector, avoid MedPro, MedCore, MPG, MPGR. These are alleged organizations that people have come out to cry out. Private organizations now. Okay. People have come out to cry, especially in the south. This is an allegation that people are alleging around these companies, that they come out and say, pay money, we'll do training for you, we'll give you a job. Some of all these dirty allegations and everything. by the time you see a company, they want to scam. You are hearing so many bad news about the company. And always check. One good platform in Nigeria is Nairaland. Somebody is saying something, check, go on Nairaland. Someone is saying something in this country about that recruitment. A private organization,
there was something about it on Nairaland.
One that happened last year. I think beginning of last year, where they scammed so many Nigerians, South Africans, Kenyans, and it was an international job scam. They told people will give you employment, this. People wrote exams. They now said that you have gotten the job, but you need to file police certificate, police certificate that police gives.
Exactly.
Exactly like that. And they say that you can pay. We have sources in the police force that can come to your house and deliver. Not meet any person. Pay online. You have gotten the job. The process was legit. Just pay online, we'll send it to you. So many people paid and
we never got it.
It now turned out to be a scam. They went to duplicate the website of the original company in South Africa and ran a huge scam across African countries. So people must be careful. Always ask questions. Research the companies. Job is not, yes, it's good, but we are in Nigeria and people can hide their Japa plans. People want to hide everything. Talk to somebody. Reach out to people that would be able to help you. They are people, they say, person will ask for direction. No, they always miss road.
That is true. And for you to even use 2 million, 3 million, 5 million to get yourself into some of this dirty shit, you can actually start some kind of good businesses with them and make a lot of money.
Just run.
That is what it is. That is what it is. So thank you for staying with us this far. We will hopefully have Mr. Gozie again because this is a very interesting topic. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye for now.
Subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Exactly. Try to do so. Bye-bye.
So me say tell them say, man, I'm back with a banger, back with another one. I be on a Fendi suit, shining on my 32.